Want to welcome you inside the gymnasium here at Mingus Union High School. Philip Catalfo, alongside state champ and former Mingus Marauder wrestler Jared Tavasi. Jared, it's Wednesday night. We're back at the wrestling mat. We're Matt's side this time. We moved from up there to down here, and I can't tell you how excited I am.
I'm extremely excited tonight. We're going to have Payson, who's been a powerhouse for years, going up against Mingus. Good classic Northern Arizona rivalry.
Yeah, definitely a Wednesday night matchup as the Mingus Marauders take on the Payson Longhorns. Should be a lot of fun. The Marauders were successful in their last match. We'll see how they do tonight. But first, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to be joined by the Marauders women's wrestling coach, Danny Schultz. When we come back, don't go anywhere, right here on Verde Valley TV.
If you want freedom and adventure, stop into one of Galpin Auto and RV's convenient locations. With a large inventory of both new and pre-owned autos and RVs, they have something for most every budget. You'll find a relaxed, no-hassle way of doing business in both Dewey and Cottonwood. Their knowledgeable staff will have you on your way to your next vacation in no time. Galpin Auto and RV in Dewey and Cottonwood, a name you can trust for over 30 years.
You dream it, they build it. A. Earls Construction is focused on your remodel dreams. Transform a TV room into a real entertainment area. Turn the mundane into incredible and add to the value of your home. Have the kitchen you need or the kitchen you've always dreamed of, both inside and out. A. Earls Construction can make your remodel ideas reality. When you're ready to make your house your home, count on A. Earls Construction. Licensed, bonded, insured, and experienced.
When you buy a vehicle at Hyundai of Cottonwood, you'll enjoy thousands of miles. With America's best warranty, 10-year, 100,000 miles, driving a Hyundai will give you peace of mind. Yes, there's something for everyone at Hyundai of Cottonwood on Rodeo Drive, above Larry Green Chevrolet and next to Walmart. Hyundai of Cottonwood. New thinking, new possibilities. A formula for happy drivers.
I want to welcome you back here, Matt's side at Mingus Union High School for our Wednesday night wrestling matchup between the Mingus Marauders and the Payson Longhorns. Philip Catalfo alongside Jared Tavasi. And Jared, we're joined by another former Mingus wrestler, Danny Schultz, who is currently the wrestling coach for the girls program here at Mingus Union. And Danny, thank you very much for taking the time to talk with us.
Thank you for having me.
So you were a former Marauder wrestler.
Yes.
How did you get involved with coaching the team?
Well, the girls program was very new as of last year, so it was me and 3 other girls who wrestled, so it was very, very new. We didn't have a girls coach. We were coached by Coach Lenny and David Wilbur. They helped us, pushed us. But I wanted to see the girls program grow, and I talked to Mckean about it, and he's like, I think you'd be wonderful to join us. And I'm like, right on.
Well, Coach Clint was correct 100% because you were coaching quite a powerhouse in terms of a program here at Mingus Union. The girls wrestling team is doing pretty well this season.
Yes, we were doing very well.
So is it kind of weird? You know, I would assume you graduated last year, correct?
Yeah.
So you're pretty much fresh off the boat coming in and coaching this team. Is it weird coaching former classmates and former teammates?
It is, because I can't joke around with them like I used to be able to. I have to be the adult. I have to be responsible and show them the correct ways to do it. So it's a little strange, yeah. And I know them all. Known them for years, so yeah.
So are there any wrestlers? We actually are going to be covering some of the girls wrestling matches. There are 3 tonight. Those will be after the JV, which will be after the varsity. So please stick around for that. You'll get to see Coach Schultz on the sideline. And Danny, are there anybody we should look out for? Anybody that's been really kind of coming alive this season?
You know, they all have. They've all been growing since the first practice. They've all retained it. And when they were out on the mat, they're like, wow, that move actually worked. And it's like, yeah, I wouldn't guide you in the wrong direction, I promise.
So, no, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, it's fine.
But have you gotten any kind of mentorship from Coach Mckean? I mean, what got you into coaching?
Just wanting to see the girls program grow, because I started it. I mean, there was a couple girls before me, but I pulled in other girls, and I wanted to see it grow. I want to be there to help them, because I'm a former state champion. I've won many championships.
2 state champions now.
Yeah.
0 state championships.
And I've won club state champions with other girls. and all throughout middle school and high school until the AIA added on to the girls. So I want to see other girls get their names on the board too.
Well, Danny, you're doing just that. I mean, you've got an incredible program running here, and we're looking forward to seeing this program continue to grow, and hopefully in the future we'll be able to cover an entire girls wrestling match, and I don't think we're too far away from that.
Yeah, we're growing pretty good.
I want to thank Coach Danny Schultz for coming on and talking with us during the pregame. When we come back, we'll get you ready for the varsity matchup here on Verde Valley TV. Don't go anywhere.
Rags Roofing, the roofing experts. A family-owned business with over 50 years of roofing experience. 3 generations specializing in all types of roofing: metal, tile, shingle, flat, roof coatings, and fascia metal. Rags Roofing, the roofing experts for residential and commercial roofs in the Verde Valley. Call 928-649-0537. Licensed, bonded, and insured. Mitch and Nate have you covered at Rags Roofing in Cottonwood.
2 things we can count on every year:
a new set of tax rules and great weather here in northern Arizona.
Jackson Hewitt Tax Service, locally owned and operated by Lewis Rice since 1997, is here for you all year long.
Your neighborhood Jackson Hewitt Tax Office will help you in all of your taxing situations.
Electronic filing is always free with your tax preparation at Jackson Hewitt Tax Service.
Get more in return. Call 1-800-234-1040 for an office near you.
People often refer to Larry Green Chevrolet as the people place. Keeping that reputation is a priority in the community and with every customer that comes through the door. Larry Green Chevrolet, we're better and we'll prove it. If you're in the market for a new or pre-owned car, truck, van, or SUV, you'll find our selection extensive and the sales team professional and courteous. Visit Larry Green Chevrolet just off Highway 260 next to Walmart or LarryGreenChevrolet.com.
Want to welcome you back here, Matt Side at Mingus Union High School for our Wednesday night wrestling matchup between the Mingus Marauders and the Payson Longhorns. Phil Catafmo alongside former state champ and Mingus Marauder wrestler Jared Tavasi. And Jared, great conversation with Danny Schultz. She's running one heck of a program.
She is. She's doing awesome this year. Her girls are looking solid. They look like they've been well coached, and they believe in her system. She's got a good system going. She's going to have a lot of success this year. I'm looking forward to seeing them wrestle tonight.
And like I said, we are going to be broadcasting the women's wrestling matches right after JV, which will be right after varsity, which we are getting ready for. And Jared, we got a glimpse of the Marauders last Wednesday in their first match of the season, and they looked pretty good.
They looked really good last week, especially for their first match of the year. I'm really looking forward to seeing what they look like after having gone through a dual tournament last week. I know that we have a couple of undefeated guys so far this year. So right now, I think there are 3 undefeated wrestlers on the Mingus team, and they're at 11-0, so that's a good start to the year. I want to see them continue to go 12-0. I mean,
yeah, of course.
That's what we're looking for tonight, see where we're at with that.
And again, we are only going to have one match. It is going to be against the Payson Longhorns. Then we'll move to JV and then the girls wrestling team.
Right.
There was supposed to be 2 teams, but we do only have one tonight. But we will be back not next Wednesday. We'll be back in February, on February 5th for Senior Night. We're only broadcasting home matches, and that will be Senior Night. Jared will be here, and it'll be a lot of fun. We're looking forward to Senior Night and sending off these seniors with a victory. But getting back to the current time, present time, right now, the Marauders taking on the Longhorns. A couple guys that jumped out immediately to me. Noah Vega starting off in the lowest weight class, and what a spark to begin the match last week.
He has so much heart. He just loves being out there. You can see it all over him. There's nothing more fun than watching somebody wrestle that enjoys the sport. He's going to go 100% no matter whether it's working for him or not, and he's not going to back down. I mean, that's his personality. He's out there. He's working hard. You can see he's drilling with Kai, and they're pushing each other, and so that's going to be a really good thing for him.
Well, and another one to mention is Kai Miller, who also had a great match last week. Yeah. And, I mean, you want to be the best, you wrestle with the best, and Kai Miller is one of the best.
Absolutely. He's going to be successful all year long. He's still undefeated this year. He's faced multiple state placers from previous years, and he's a freshman, but he's really bringing his best stuff forward. Can't wait to see him wrestle tonight.
We talk about an anchor, and we'll move into the anchor of this team, and that's Clay Griffin. I mean, the 220 weight class, he really held his own last week and put a put a phenomenal performance together. Gronk really showing out, and we talked about it during the broadcast. The heavier weight classes, a little bit of a struggle for the Marauders against against Snowflake and against help me out here. There was Snowflake and
Wickenburg, I believe.
We're close. I don't think it was Wickenburg. Kingman. Thank you very much. That's right. It was Kingman. But the heavier weight classes working very well for those two schools, but for the Marauders, kind of struggling a little bit. And the Griffin brothers, Clay and oh my goodness, Clay and Tyler. Ryan plays for the football team, and he's not related to either of them. Clay and Tyler Griffin both did a phenomenal job.
Ryan and Tyler.
I could have swore it was Clay. But
no, Clay's the football player, I believe.
Clay is, all right, well, either way, the Griffins, regardless, did a great job.
They did a great job. He's honestly the anchor for the team. He's going to be the senior leadership on the team. He's somebody that everybody's going to look up to, and he shows up every day. He's going to show up in this match, and he's going to put his best effort forward.
Another guy we kind of mentioned during the broadcast was Keen Totticini, who had also sort of in that lighter middleweight area, also did a great job out on the mat as well.
He knows what he's doing. He's a senior, and I think he's going to have a lot of success this year. From everything I hear on the team, he is just about unstoppable.
Well, we've got a lot of wrestling coming up here on this Wednesday night matchup, and we're just getting started. Players are getting warmed up. We're getting fired up. We'll have varsity wrestling here when we come back on the other side of this break. Don't go anywhere right here on Verde Valley TV.
Starting in the late 1920s, Grandpa Gettle and his brothers laid the groundwork for what would become a family legacy. Almost 100 years and 100 patents later, Gettle's High Desert Mechanical continues to raise the bar of quality heating, cooling, and plumbing products and services in the Verde Valley.
Call Gettle's High Desert Mechanical Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing at 567-2200 or online at GettlesHDM.com, providing solutions for your comfort. Don't settle, get Gettles, and go Marauders.
Balancing your family, finances, and future is a lot of responsibility. Let Jennifer Griffin and her team at State Farm help. Jennifer Griffin is an Arizona native and a Mingus graduate as well. As a third-generation State Farm agent serving the Verde Valley in the same Cottonwood Main Street location for over 35 years. Jennifer Griffin offers all of State Farm Insurance's lines, specializing in auto, home, life, and small business policies. Jennifer Griffin and State Farm Insurance, here to help life go right.
If you haven't been to Number One Sandwich Shop in Clarkdale, stop in to see why they are number one. Their patented broaster chicken is a true one-of-a-kind pressure-fried roasted favorite. Always cooked fresh, allow 20 minutes to cook. Wings, pizzas, subs, burgers, and more. Don't forget the Thrifty Heart ice cream, 14 rotating flavors served in a cone, cup, shake, float, or a sundae. Located in Clarkdale at the Roundabout on 89A heading up to Jerome. Open daily from 11 to 7.
Want to welcome you, Matt Side, here at Mingus Union High School inside the gymnasium. Phil Catafamo, alongside state champion and former Mingus Marauder wrestler Jared Tavasi. We got an opportunity to talk with Danny Schultz, the head coach of the women's wrestling program here at Mingus Union. And we've got women's wrestling, JV wrestling, and varsity wrestling all wrapped up in one broadcast tonight, so we hope you stick around for all that. I want to welcome you inside the broadcast for this one. We're, I would assume, minutes away from beginning this match here as the Marauders are taking on the Longhorns of Payson. And I mean, it's going to be fun.
Yeah, it's going to be a great night of wrestling. We've got the coaches are just talking right now. The wrestlers are out getting warmed up. I don't know what we're waiting for, but I think it's just about getting ready to start. I know that they're penciling in the last-minute revisions to anything, and it's going to be a great night of wrestling. It's center stage on a Wednesday night. This is it.
And, I mean, like you said, center stage, we're actually Matt's side. If you tuned in last week, we were up on the stands, but now we're down on the floor, and it's a great angle. It is going to be a lot of fun. Of course, they're going to have to hear us talk, which, could go either way, but it's going to be a lot of fun.
It's going to be a great night. It's going to be a great night of wrestling. I'm looking forward to seeing how everybody's doing now that they've got all the first tournament jitters out, and now we're going to get to work. This is where we go from where we started to where we want to be, and it's a journey throughout the season, and every season it's going to have the same journey. You're going to see people rise to the occasion and do things that they weren't expected to do, and you'll see people that let themselves down personally little bit, and then they gain it back, and it's going to be a journey. It's going to be good stuff.
Well, like you said, I mean, you said this last week, kind of watching the progression of these wrestlers from the first match, and this is the second match, so they've had an entire week to fix things, to practice more, and then, of course, you'll be back for senior night, which will be, it is December now, so that's 2 months away on February 5th. I can't imagine the growth that we're going to see on their last home match.
It will be exponential. You'll see them look tight. They'll look so much more athletic. They'll be honed and guided to a specific point. They'll know what their game plan is. They'll be executing their game plan. They'll actually have a game plan instead of just going out there and seeing what somebody does or what they're doing that day. They're going to have a game plan. They'll go out and try and execute it, and that's what I look forward to seeing.
We see a couple players warming up there. We've got Santa Claus and getting out there warming up his Marauder team, but you know, and you see, you know, with the growth and the strategy, and I mean, you come into a wrestling match from somebody, in my standpoint, where, you know, my experience with wrestling isn't nearly close to Jared's. You come in with the strategy. What is that strategy outside of pin the guy before he pins you?
There are so many strategies, but it all boils down to if you have an offensive strategy or a defensive strategy. I was a very offensive wrestler. I wanted to put hands on my opponent. I wanted to start body faking, and I wanted to engage as soon as possible. I want to be able to put my hands on them with an intention. I want them to know that I'm going to control the match, and if they attempt to take control, I want to revamp that idea. I want to stay aggressive all the time. I don't want them in deep on me. I don't want them to feel like they can wrestle with me. So my game plan was always to attack, and I always assumed that my third move would be a free move because they had to react to my first two. And then at the same time, you have other wrestlers that want to play a position game. They know what they're good at. They're able to maintain position. It takes a lot of mental toughness and physical toughness to be a position wrestler. Coach Mckean was a position wrestler. He could maintain position on anybody, never gave any points up at all, no matter what. And he had extreme success with it. So you have both ends of the ballgame. You have one person who goes out there, wrestles his match as a very he's not going to extend himself past where he knows is absolutely guaranteed points and give nothing back. And at the same time, that's I just wanted to attack all the time.
A very aggressive wrestler and a great color commentator, but we are getting very, very close to beginning our match here at Mingus Union High School. We are going to take a quick break, but when we come back, we will begin this wrestling match, whether it's on the offensive or defensive side. Regardless, it's about points. We'll see who eventually comes up on top when we come back on the other side of this break. Don't go anywhere. Varsity Wrestling right here on Verde Valley TV.
If you want freedom and adventure, stop into one of Galpin Auto and RV's convenient locations. With a large inventory of both new and pre-owned autos and RVs, they have something for most every budget. You'll find a relaxed, no-hassle way of doing business in both Dewey and Cottonwood. Their knowledgeable staff will have you on your way to your next vacation in no time. Galpin Auto and RV in Dewey and Cottonwood, a name you can trust for over 30 years.
You dream it, they build it. A. Earls Construction is focused on your remodel dreams. Transform a TV room into a real entertainment area. Turn the mundane into incredible and add to the value of your home. Have the kitchen you need or the kitchen you've always dreamed of, both inside and out. A. Earls Construction can make your remodel ideas reality. When you're ready to make your house your home, count on A. Earls Construction. Licensed, bonded, insured, and experienced.
When you buy a vehicle at Hyundai of Cottonwood, you'll enjoy thousands of miles. With America's best warranty, 10-year, 100,000 miles, driving a Hyundai will give you peace of mind. Yes, there's something for everyone at Hyundai of Cottonwood on Rodeo Drive, above Larry Green Chevrolet and next to Walmart. Hyundai of Cottonwood. New thinking, new possibilities. A formula for happy drivers.
Want to welcome you back, Matt Side here at Mingus Union High School. Phil Katafamo alongside former state champ and former Mingus Marauder wrestler Jared Tavasi. We are getting very, very close to our Wednesday night wrestling matchup as the Mingus Marauders take on the Payson Longhorns. And We've talked about the kids to pay attention to. We've talked to head coach Danny Schultz of the wrestling program here at Mingus. We've talked about his strategy as a wrestler. We've talked about my inexperience with wrestling. I think we've covered everything. We're about ready for wrestling now.
We're about ready to get it on a Wednesday night. It's going to be a good stuff. It's going to be two teams going head-to-head. We'll get to see their best. I love how this highlights the strengths of each team, and you're able to really connect on a personal level watching them.
Well, here we go. We've got the coin toss going on. We'll see who wins the coin toss. Our referee is Justin Hartman tonight. I believe he was the referee for last Wednesday as well. Payson has won the toss. And, Jared, what are they deciding?
They're going to decide who gets first choice for top and bottom position. And so that will play into the strength of their lineup. They'll know what weights are more advantageous for them to be able to have that first choice. Some people are able to be more successful on top. Some people choose bottom position to be able to get the 1 point when they escape and then be able to wrestle on their feet and go back to doing takedowns. You'll see that with a lot of the more successful or more experienced wrestlers. They'll pick bottom, and that gives them a free point before they're able to get back to work on their feet. The more successful team is on their feet, the more success I've noticed. I mean, you notice the better teams always want to wrestle on their feet. They want to get up there, and they want to stand up and go takedowns with everybody. So
we are getting started with our 106 weight class. Noah Vega on the side of the Marauders, Alex Leos on the side of the Longhorns. Okay. And we will give you 3 JV matches tonight. And then varsity. Oh, we're going to be starting with JV. We will be starting with JV. Okay,
so I was going to say that's a big 103-pounder.
So this is actually the 126 match. This is Michael Zunick wrestling at the 126 weight class for the Marauders. This is, of course, the JV matchup. We will have 3 JV matchups to start off, and we're underway for the pre-match before we begin the actual match. Zunick trying to get on top. He is on top.
He is on top. He was able to successfully fight off a high crotch.
We got kind of a, like you said, that sort of half Nelson, the headlock there will draw a penalty on the side of the Marauders. So we've got a.
Well, that's actually when you put 2 half Nelsons together. That's a full Nelson.
A full Nelson. See, I always get those mixed up.
When you have a full Nelson, it's an illegal hold. We got a roll through Cradle. He was able to plant his head. Pull his opponent over.
Zunick looking for the pin.
He's looking to finish this off early. He needs to get a knee in the guy's hip. Oh,
there
got
it
it finished off. There we go.
And a pin for the Marauders to start off the night in the JV matchups. Michael Zunick getting the victory for the Marauders to start off. And what a great way to kick off this matchup here on Wednesday night. Can we talk about something real quick, though?
Yes, absolutely.
Where did you find these chairs? You found an office chair and you found an auditorium chair. Ryan, if we can cut real quick right back to us, just real quick, just to get an idea of scale, if you don't mind, before we start this. So we're going to have Ryan cut back to us, but Ryan cannot see us because of how low these chairs are.
I found them over there by the door, kind of lonely.
So we've got now this is the 130. The 138 weight class. This is Sean Hogard on the side of the Marauders. We've already got a pin to start off the night for Mingus.
He's got to get his hips back.
Brought down.
Got brought down, and at least he got to his belly well. He's able to not give up 5, instead he just gave up 2. Now he's got a new fight on his hands. Now he's got to fight from his base. It's going to be to control hands and get his hips out.
Hogard trying to get out of the hold. Just trying to get back up to his feet. Again, we got that.
That's a half Nelson.
That half Nelson, yeah.
And it's getting run hard. When you see that shoulder start moving forward, that means that man's about to roll. And it's,
and there it is.
And there's the full Nelson one with the not very effective change off from hand to hand.
Well, I would assume the idea would be, if you've got him with your left hand, you kind of want to quickly go to that right hand, but,
But you can't.
It's kind of impossible.
Through. Switching side to side is very difficult on a half Nelson setup.
Hogard on his stomach, looking to get back to his knees, trying to get out of the hold. Two-1 is our score. our second JV matchup of the night. We'll have varsity coming up real soon. And that is a pin.
That's a pin.
So 1-1 so far on the side of both teams. The Marauders getting the early pin with Michael Zunich, and now the Payson Longhorns getting the pin on their side as well with their wrestler. So we are getting the name for you so that we can continue to consistently give you the roster names. We did have a couple of them given to us before we started. And
this is Luke Fangman?
This is Luke Fanglin, you said?
Fangman.
Fangman. Luke finding himself in a bit of a hold. Payson getting the reverse. You just got to get right back up.
Getting cradled up right here and brought back.
Going for the pin.
Taste of our own medicine after the first match.
Just got to keep both those shoulder blades off the mat. To get out of this hold somehow. How do you get out of this hold? Do you kick that left leg, or is there any way to get out of that?
It's hard getting out of a cradle. You have to keep bridging with your head. You got to intertwine your feet and be able to push as hard as you can. You have to put two legs against two arms, and it's still very difficult. There's nothing fun about being cradled.
So we'll split the varsity 2-1 on the side of the Longhorns, and we will begin our varsity matchups, starting with the low weight classes. 106 with Noah Vega, who was an absolute spark to start off, and he will get the forfeit.
He's got a forfeit.
So a great start for the Marauders. They will get the forfeit and the victory, and then we'll move to Alex Herman in the 113s. Which will be also a forfeit, and then we will get our first actual matchup with Alex Leos and Kai Miller in the 120s. So 2 forfeits for the Marauders. We'll give them 12 points. 12-0 is our total team score. Marauders finding an early lead. You know, we saw this, of course, last week with not Sholo. It was, or excuse me, not Snowflake. It was Kingman. Kingman was unable to wrestle a good chunk of their team, but still did pretty good, regardless of being down a few men. And here we go, Kai Miller, the 120 weight class, taking on Alex Leos. So we begin the match.
He's going out and establishing some position right now. He's got a front headlock set up. He's wanting to get that 2-point takedown and let them know that he's here to wrestle. Oh,
already going for that
transition.
Takedown.
Went from high to low, gets up on top and starts riding. Now he's about to go to work.
Miller still on top, looking to bring down his opponent. Of course, the Marauders started out the JV with a pin, looking to start out varsity the same way.
He's got his legs in. He's getting his man stretched out, getting some good leverage on him. Wants to slow him down because that first 10 seconds, everybody's all hyped up and people get all crazy. And so he wants to hold him down, make him realize that we're here to wrestle for 6 minutes, potentially, not just 30 seconds. And
Miller bringing him down. Trying to get that pin.
Tempting to transition feet to back right there. It was a smart move. It's a good ploy. Let the man stand up, take him back to the mat, and try and put him straight feet to back. It's one of your best positions to be able to put somebody on their back smoothly. And it's a very effective technique. I've seen Kai do that before several times. Ooh. Trying to 3/4 Nelson.
Miller just trying to bring him down and get that pin to start off. Really a lot of pressure on that neck.
Yep. Oh, now he's thinking about throwing a leg in.
It looks like he may be going for the sort of cradle.
Not fully committed to it.
Oh, and
yeah.
Miller able to break out of that hold.
Very nice.
2-0 our score.
2-0.
In the 120 weight class here at the varsity level. 12 seconds left.
He's getting him stretched out. He's getting him stretched out. That is fantastic. Getting some near fall. He's riding those legs like a champ.
4-0 now our score thanks to that near fall. Miller still on top here. And that'll be the buzzer for the first period.
Looking excellent today. He's in great form. He's taking bottom.
Wow. All right. So Kai Miller starting on bottom. Alex Leo starting on top. We will get a fresh 2-minute clock here in the second quarter of this particular match.
And we have a reversal right out of the gate. Hits a switch, knows where he's headed. Now he's going to start riding again. See how he transitions this back feet to.
Miller able to bring down Leos. Again, 6-0 our score. Total team score 12-0 Marauders.
Ooh, switching over to a Navy ride. He's splitting the legs. He's pulling the man over. He's really controlling the hips well right here, causing a lot of difficulty for the.
Looking for the pin. And he got it. Kai Miller with the pin and the victory for the Marauders. Their first official varsity wrestling duel tonight in the 120 weight class. Victory for the Marauders. Now we'll get Wyatt Ashton in the 126 and Keen Todicini. And we can, Keen looked right at us when we said his name.
Keen's getting ready to do some work here. Keen has a game plan. He's ready to execute it. You can just see it written all over him.
He's already on top of his opponent.
Getting his hips out, weight on his opponent, folding him up. Ooh, that's a wicked chin whip right there.
Already looking for the pin. He's got the hold.
That was a killer chin whip. And we have a double grapevine pin.
There it is. Another pin for the Marauders. Back-to-back pins. Puts them up hefty early on, and we'll move now to the 132 weight class with Isaac Mckean, another guy who we actually forgot to mention in the pregame.
Oh, yeah.
A phenomenal wrestler for the Marauders. And Eli Kenny. Or Keeney, excuse me. So the 132 weight class, our total score 24-0. Marauders leading 2 forfeits and now 2 pins.
Isaac's so much more physical this year than I've seen him in the past. Love seeing that physicality.
Mckean looking to.
Right now they're hand fighting, they're getting position, and he's finishing really well. That was tight, solid technique, no mistakes made right there. Excellent wrestling on the part of Mckean. He's looking for opportunities to score. He's cradling it up. Hopefully he's able to turn this into some points.
Trying to stay away from that out of bounds. Mckean still in bounds, and now they will officially get called out of bounds.
Yes. No change in position here. Mckean's still on top. He was trying to execute a cradle. Eli Keeney was pretty aware that he was in bad position right there, and it's always dangerous when you're getting cradled. Oh yeah, that's gonna translate. No near fall yet.
So we got 50 seconds left here in the first quarter of this particular match right here between Mckean and Keeney.
Mckean's dominating on position. He's already put him in potential pinning holds 2 or 3 times, and we're seeing some real dominant wrestling right here.
Now Keeney back up top. Mckean trying to break out of the hold, and it'll be called
out of bounds.
Out of bounds.
We have loss of control right there, so it's going to be a 1-2 match. Mckean's still got 2. Keeney's going to have 1, and we're going back to our feet.
So we'll start in the neutral position. 2-1 is our score. Coming in now, 21 seconds left. Mckean looking for the pin early.
He's looking to establish himself on his feet right here. He's already got the first takedown. That has to be in Keeney's head. Whoever gets the first takedown, they have a confidence boost right there, and it's pretty detrimental to a person's psyche when they got taken down that easily in the first periods. I mean, there was no questions. Mckean just went out there, hand fought, took the takedown, got his points, and rode him out solidly.
Once again, the Marauders will start on bottom, a strategy of Coach Mckean for his son Isaac.
It gives them 1 point, and then they get back to their feet. So ends up being a 2-point match again. Right. Double crossface right there, getting heavy on those elbows. Got 1 point. Now he's going to go for 2.
3-1 is our score. About a minute and 35 to go in the second period.
That is such a great setup. That is such a great setup and finish on that single leg. That is going to be in Keeney's head. You know, when you're getting taken down like that, it takes away a lot of your options. It establishes him as the dominant wrestler right there, and he's fighting from the top now.
Mckean up top, Keeney down on bottom. Looking for the pin. 3-1 is our score. 24-0 is our total score.
He's got the chicken wing.
Or excuse me, 5-1.
McKean's got the chicken wing. Keeney's trying to figure out what he can do from there without getting himself in more trouble. And
they're going to stay in bounds. They will go out of bounds.
Going out of bounds. We're going to go. No loss of control, I guess.
Mckean looking for the takedown. Still grappling around 5-1.
He's got 5 seconds to bring his opponent back down or let him go.
And he brought him down.
Takes him right back down.
You can hear Coach Mckean telling his son, keep his hips down.
It's harder said than done when you have a strong opponent keeping those hips broken down, but that's what everybody's going for.
Looking for the pin again for the Marauders.
Oh, yeah. He's sitting through. He's
got
putting so much pressure on him. He's got a good control tie. He's going to dominate that position right there.
Now he's got him.
Runs out of time. Runs out of time.
Oh,
that's going to be a 3-point. That's going to be a 3-point near fall.
That'll go 8-1 is our score now.
Yep.
Very close. I think if he had at least another maybe 10 seconds, he would have had that pin, no question.
Yeah, I think he would have sealed the deal. I think that right now you got to look out for people starting to want to throw punches and stuff like that, because I just saw a hand go towards somebody's head that shouldn't have been flying like that. That was a closed fist. Isaac will keep his head no matter what, though. He's that kind of a person. He's just so tough.
Well, you have the aspect of it of, the competition. You get the competitive edge. You get fired up, but at the same time, you got to realize that it's just a competition and you're not fighting on the streets.
Right, exactly. But you saw Payson start getting a little chippy right there, and that will happen. It was just I'd like to see an open hand instead of a closed fist going when people are trying for heads.
Yeah, I agree. A slap is much better than a punch.
Yeah.
Mckean on bottom, 8-3 now our score. Keeney now looking to change. Oh, great reverse.
Steps right over, changes it back up. He's going to go back to work here. He just took a little bit of a break is what it looked like to me.
It must be something when, as a wrestler, you can just take a quick break on the mat, get your breath back, take a break, and then get right back into it.
He's working so hard on top, running those control ties and trying to pin. When you're running pinning combinations on somebody, it takes a lot of energy and a lot of stamina. And so he's working so hard where his opponent's just able to sit there in a position and wrestle a position battle. McKean's trying to generate points, and he's trying to put him on his back. And so he's working so exponentially harder. So it looked to me like he just ended up getting taken down, taking a few seconds break, getting his wind back, and now he's going to go back to work on trying to pin his opponent.
Well, he is currently doing a good job in terms of the points. 10-3 is our score. The Marauders carrying a hefty lead now. Mckean possibly looking for the pin here in the third period.
Forward.
10 seconds left.
He'll just hold on right here because you don't want to end up having something crazy happen at the last second.
And there it is.
And that's the victory for him.
So another victory for the Marauders as we move to the 138 weight class.
I'm just very impressed with his mindset, his mat strategy. Excellent.
We're going to after 138. Yeah. So the 138 weight class, Hunter Robinson on the side of the Marauders and Tony Gressley on the side of the Longhorns.
He's having to change headgear with somebody.
Yeah, it seems like there was some tape on the headgear of Hunter Robinson. Right. There is tape on his wrist, which is legal,
right.
But the tape on his headgear is not legal. And I'm pretty sure there is a reason why. Jared?
I have no idea. When I was in high school, I had a strip of tape over the top of my headgear just to make sure it stayed in place and didn't get pulled over my eyes. I think that's something new. That's something that's happened in the past few years.
The tape was on the right side of the headgear, right underneath where the ear would be. So, but Hunter has changed his headgear, and we are underway here. Marauders have been dominating this duel so far. 27-0 is our total score.
Longhorns came out, got a takedown. Looks like he's riding top pretty solidly. We got to just work on building the base back up and being able to wrestle from a base.
Working his way from bottom to top. 2-0 as Payson takes an early lead in the 1-38 weight class. Robinson just trying to get out of that hold. Gressley just working real well right now. .51 seconds left in this match, or excuse me, in the first period of this matchup. Robinson trying to work as hard as he can to get out of that hold.
Payson's generating a lot of weight on top of him.
Right on the top, right on the back.
Right on his shoulder blades. He's getting top heavy. So you got to see Hunter build his base back up with his hips. Everything starts from your hips.
And there he goes. Almost made his way up. You can see he's putting his knee back on the mat, trying to, like you said, trying to work his way back up. And now
he's got to look away from that half Nelson. That half Nelson, if you're looking into it, that's terribly rough on a person. Man, that takes a lot of guts getting out of it, sitting up like that. He's just got to start looking away from it, man. You'll see his face
trying to hold here. 2 seconds.
Good job. Way to finish out a period strong. It's 2-0. That's not a bad match right there.
Not a bad match at all for Hunter Robinson. Able to get saved by the clock.
Saved by the bell.
Yeah.
That is perfectly fine. That's part of mat strategy. You always have to know where you're at on the mat. You have to know how much time is left, and you have to know what the score is. And he managed the score so that he's not out of place on the score. He knew what time was left, and he was able to hang tough, and now he's riding top. So.
Yeah, Robinson with 3 straight takedowns.
3 straight takedowns.
Going to get that right leg over the top. Oh, great job by Gressley to get out of that hold. Great reverse. 4-0 now goes the score. One minute, 20 seconds left. Seems like a little bit more pressure. It seems like maybe the shoulder blade just kind of pressed up on the head. And again, we are all about safety here. And referee, Justin Hartman, our referee, just saw something he didn't like.
Yeah.
I don't mean to point out the obvious, but it's true.
That's what it all boils down to is this safe or is this not safe? And so he's going to be able to stop it no matter what. Now that he said, hey, this isn't going to happen, now we know the wrestlers are aware of it, and hopefully that keeps somebody from getting injured.
So Robinson trying to get out of the hold. Working his way back up top, now back down on the bottom. Only 40 seconds left in the second period.
Greasley's really working those arms on top. He's working on those shoulders. That's so much leverage pushing on that it's hard to keep fighting right there. You have to stay mentally tough. Looks like Hunter's staying mentally tough, though.
18 seconds left. Robinson doing a good job. Just got to get some points on the board as Payson leads 4-0. Robin looking for the pin. Robinson just trying to keep his shoulders up. And there it is. The first pin for Payson in this duel. And it comes at the hands
that was
of Toby Gresley.
Gresley.
Great job by the side of the Longhorns to get the pin there and get themselves on the total points board. 6-27 is our score, a 4-0 victory on the pin for the Longhorns. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we've got more varsity wrestling right here on Verde Valley TV. Don't go anywhere.
Rags Roofing, the roofing experts. A family-owned business with over 50 years of roofing experience. 3 generations specializing in all types of roofing: metal, tile, shingle, flat, roof coatings, and fascia metal. Rags Roofing, the roofing experts for residential and commercial roofs in the Verde Valley. Call 928-649-0537. Licensed, bonded, and insured. Mitch and Nate have you covered at Rags Roofing in Cottonwood.
2 things we can count on every year:
a new set of tax rules and great weather here in northern Arizona.
Jackson Hewitt Tax Service, locally owned and operated by Lewis Rice since 1997, is here for you all year long.
Your neighborhood Jackson Hewitt Tax Office will help you in all of your taxing situations.
Electronic filing is always free with your tax preparation at Jackson Hewitt Tax Service.
Get more in return. Call 1-800-234-1040 for an office near you.
People often refer to Larry Green Chevrolet as the people place. Keeping that reputation is a priority in the community and with every customer that comes through the door. Larry Green Chevrolet, we're better and we'll prove it. If you're in the market for a new or pre-owned car, truck, van, or SUV, you'll find our selection extensive and the sales team professional and courteous. Visit Larry Green Chevrolet just off Highway 260 next to Walmart or LarryGreenChevrolet.com.
Want to welcome you back here at Mingus Union High School. Matt Side, Philip Catopmo alongside Jared Tavasi. It has been a dominating performance so far from the Marauders. 27-6 is their total team score. Of course, Payson getting the last, at least I should say the more recent pin at the 138 weight class. We will now shift our focus to the 145 weight class, or excuse me, the 152 weight classes. The 145 will be a forfeit on the side of the Marauders. But before we get into that, I want to thank some of our sponsors: Gettle's High Desert Mechanical, State Farm agent Jennifer Griffin, Number 1 Sandwich Shop Clarkdale, Rags Roofing, and Rice Accounting Jackson Hewitt. And speaking of Gettle's, Luke Gettle was a former wrestler here at Mingus around the same time you were wrestling.
He's a little bit younger than I was, and he and his...
Well, that's why I said around. I
right.
don't wanna,
He and his little brother were both dominant wrestlers in the state of Arizona, and Luke was able to go to Iowa State and wrestle for the not the Hawkeyes, I'm sorry, for the Cyclones.
Yeah,
the Cyclones.
That's something you got to. Yeah. If we were in Iowa, that'd be tough. That's something people don't forget about.
Yeah.
We'll now move over to the 152 weight class with Dathan Weimer.
This is Dathan. And
I think we're gonna
love watching him wrestle.
We will see a wrestling match here. I thought we were gonna have a forfeit, but no, we are not. So 27-12 is our total team score as we wait for Dathan's opponent, which is Ryden Roscoe, or excuse me, it is Francisco Marquez. So Marquez will make his way out to the mat as we begin the 152 weight class. You know, we talk about, we know that, Payson has forfeited a couple matches, but in all honesty, they get a pin here and they get another pin, they're right back in this match. They're not too far away from winning.
It doesn't take much in wrestling to have a big shift, and we had to forfeit as well. So they got a couple. We got a couple of forfeits. They had a forfeit. Right now, Dathan's got to get that those hands broken.
And Marquez looking to keep that hold.
He just established a 5-point lead early, and that's something we're gonna have to fight back from.
And this is sort of around, at least in last match, this is around the time when the Marauders were struggling a little bit with the heavier weight classes.
Yes.
Dathan trying to break out of that hold. Marquez looking for it, now able to get out of it.
Dathan came close to getting some defensive, either a defensive pin or some defensive points right there. He had that foot hooked, and he put Marquez in a really compromising position.
Well, this is a chance right here for Weimer to get out of this hold, put on a couple points. 5-0 Payson leading right now with 50 seconds left in the first period of this match. Marquez dominating up top so far. There it is, out of bounds. Seems like Marquez got saved on that one. Great reverse.
I would have gone with loss of control on that, but that's why I'm not the referee. I'm just talking about it.
38 seconds left.
38
in the first
seconds.
Period.
He's got to make sure he gets that arm back, because man, Marquez is running that chicken wing hard. He's got a control tie. What happened right there was his arm got out of position, so that's a potentially dangerous situation. So we want to stop that before somebody's shoulder gets hurt.
Yeah, dislocating a shoulder is something I'm not ready to see live. 5-0 is our score as Payson leads. Marquez still on top of Weimer. Dathan Weimer and Francisco Marquez in the 152 weight class. And there goes the buzzer.
Well, it's a 5-point match right now, and a 5-point match is a easy match to change the position on.
Right.
If you a 2-point takedown, 2-point reversal, and a 3-point near fall, it goes so fast. That's why that 5 points is kind of a magic number in wrestling. You want to have more than 5, because otherwise it just takes one move and it changes everything.
Weimer trying to get a couple points on the board. 6-0 now our score.
6-0 now. Got an escape. Now he's got to put two things together. We have to go feet to back right here.
Now, like you said, they're sort of hand fighting. Somebody's looking to gain position early.
Yeah, they're trying to establish some position. They want to get setups going. They want to get some pressure and see who's tired. Almost just,
brought down. Weimer looking to get out of bounds. Marquez looking for the pin. Marquez having a great hold on Weimer. And there's the pin.
That's it.
Francisco Marquez gets the pin for the Longhorns. And like I mentioned, a couple pins and they're back in it. And they're back in it.
They're right back in there.
We'll now move to the 160 weight class with Aiden Stockman and Mason Sloniger on the side of the Marauders, and Stockman on the side of the Longhorns. 27-18 now our score. This is a 9-point match. Sloniger looking to get a pin here, keep the Marauders leading.
We're seeing a lot of pins tonight.
Sloniger trying to stay on his feet. Stockman, a great takedown.
He ripped that wrist out, put it on his back. That's a very, very dominant position right here. That's something that's difficult to wrestle back from. When you have a wrist on your back, it takes one of your one of your major supporting points completely out of play.
Well, you've got that so much pressure on the front part of your shoulder.
Yeah.
He's got him in an arm bar almost. Well, I mean, he doesn't now, but he did. Looking for the pin early, and he got it. There is another pin on the side of the Longhorns, and now they are really back in this duel.
That's a hard position to get good at getting into. Stockman obviously has practiced putting that arm on somebody's back, and it's even harder to get out of.
24-27 is our total score. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we will have the other weight class. We're going to wait just a second. And we are going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we will have more wrestling at the 170 weight class. Don't go anywhere.
Starting in the late 1920s, Grandpa Gettle and his brothers laid the groundwork for what would become a family legacy. Almost 100 years and 100 patents later, Gettle's High Desert Mechanical continues to raise the bar of quality heating, cooling, and plumbing products and services in the Verde Valley.
Call Gettle's High Desert Mechanical Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing at 567-2200 or online at GettlesHDM.com, providing solutions for your comfort. Don't settle, get Gettles, and go Marauders.
Balancing your family, finances, and future is a lot of responsibility. Let Jennifer Griffin and her team at State Farm help. Jennifer Griffin is an Arizona native and a Mingus graduate as well. As a third-generation State Farm agent serving the Verde Valley in the same Cottonwood Main Street location for over 35 years. Jennifer Griffin offers all of State Farm Insurance's lines, specializing in auto, home, life, and small business policies. Jennifer Griffin and State Farm Insurance, here to help life go right.
If you haven't been to Number One Sandwich Shop in Clarkdale, stop in to see why they are number one. Their patented broaster chicken is a true one-of-a-kind pressure-fried roasted favorite. Always cooked fresh, allow 20 minutes to cook. Wings, pizzas, subs, burgers, and more. Don't forget the Thrifty Heart ice cream, 14 rotating flavors served in a cone, cup, shake, float, or a sundae. Located in Clarkdale at the Roundabout on 89A heading up to Jerome. Open daily from 11 to 7.
Want to welcome you back here to Mingus Union High School as the Marauders are currently leading the Payson Longhorns 27-24 in total points. We are shifting our focus to the 170 weight class. Philip Catafmo alongside state champ and former Mingus Marauder wrestler Jared Tavasi. That is Tyler Griffin out there on the mat, and his opponent is Adrian Zeffarino. And, well, I mentioned it. If the Marauders, if Payson had a couple more pins, they were going to be right back in it. And guess what? They're right back in it. And a pin here would put them up. The Marauders really needing this tail end, the sort of heavier weight classes to really come up clutch here. And it starts with Tyler Griffin.
They do, and I hope Tyler's able to come out here and have a good game plan tonight. He's looking like he's in good position. He's got that outside single working for him.
Zeffarino holding him real well. Griffin trying to get out of the hold.
There's
a great reverse.
Oh, no score. You have to get 3. Oh, a lot of motion without a score right there. Got to get that weight on those hands.
Again,
good drag out.
Again, this is the 170 weight class. 0-0 currently our score. Marauders 27-24 in team points. But they could really use a pin here. Of course, the Marauders will be unfortunately forfeiting the 182 and 195 weight classes, so they would really love a pin here from Tyler Griffin.
It could be a real game changer right here.
Well, back to the neutral position. No points on the board for either team. Just about 40 seconds left.
When you get up in the 170s, 80s, and 90s, up to heavyweight, it's a lot bigger position battle, and any mistakes you make can be very detrimental, not just a little bit detrimental. You can't really get yourself out of trouble as easily when you have that much weight on top of you. So it looks like he's wrestling a lot of position right now, trying to put himself, get a good setup and be able to capitalize on something.
10 seconds left here in the first period. Griffin and Zeffarino. hand battle, and that'll end it. First period is done. We'll move to the second. 0-0 still our score. Haven't seen a whole lot of takedowns in this one so far. It's like you said, that position battle. These guys arm fighting each other just to see who can get on top first.
I'd like to see some pinning combinations come from right on top right here for him. Good stuff to see.
There we go. Griffin on top now. Looking to stay on top as we get the second period going, looking to score some points.
It's one great thing about wrestling is you can't run and hide. So somebody's going to get on top of you or you're going to get on top of them. And so they can run on their feet, but it's pretty hard to run away from somebody once they've established a top position.
Oh, great job by Zeffirino to get out of that one.
Yes.
Wow.
Up on his feet. It's a 1-point match right now. And
you can hear Coach Mckean and also the coach on the side of Payson. Looking for the takedown. Zeffirino, he's got him in the air. Griffin still trying to stay on his feet. He's brought down. Oh, great job, Griffin with the reverse, looking for the pin.
Rolled through that.
Griffin with the hold.
Got the
and he got it.
Finish.
Wow. Tyler Griffin, an impressive match.
That's how fast it happens.
Jeez.
A little bit too much push, and with that much weight behind it.
A lot of credit on the side of Adrian Zeffirino. That was a phenomenal match.
It was. Great position battle and a great win for Tyler.
So Tyler Griffin with the victory. We will have 2 forfeits on the side of the Marauders. That is Travis Christensen on the side of Payson will get the victory. And now also in the 195, Sal Celis will also find a victory. And we will wait for Gronk to get ready at the 220 weight class.
Yes, we will.
So the Marauders will go up 33-24 for the time being. Of course, you can actually add 12 more points to the side of Payson. So that should put them up in total points 36-33 after Sal Celis gets his victory. And then it'll be Gronk against Caleb Oyser, or Osier. It falls into the close enough category.
I'm not even trying. Osier? I said I wasn't going to try.
Yeah, see, we apologize. We didn't get that right.
I'm sorry.
But I got a terrible last name, so I get it. My last name has got almost every single letter in the alphabet in it, so.
Same here.
33-36 now as the Longhorns have found themselves a victory. Now it'll come down to Gronk. So is that not his nickname? I could have sworn that they just played Griffin last week. It'll be Ryan Griffin. 36-33, looking for the victory for the Marauders.
Great takedown. Quick, fast, and in a hurry. He's going to let him up. Doesn't want to get let up.
Ryan Griffin looking for the pin.
Got a Russian tie right here. Great position. Steps behind, gets his 2 points, breaks his opponent down. That is wonderful.
Griffin looking for the pin.
Absolutely perfect. Steps back over, he's got a tee up.
Celis looking to break out of it.
He's keeping his knees off the mat, his weight on his chest, chest to chest. He's got plenty of time.
And there it is. A pin for Ryan Griffin.
That match is over. And good stuff.
Yeah, great job by Sal Celis. But the Marauders come on top of this one. 39-36 now goes to our total scores. And that is it. A victory for the Marauders. It came down to the heavyweights.
That was a fantastic way to finish that off for Ryan. He was able to go out there, get his pin for his team, and be the anchor. And That's what you really want from a team captain.
Avery Hines will get the victory to secure the victory for the Marauders in this match.
Yes.
Now, great wrestling match for the Marauders. Now we'll get an opportunity to see the girls wrestling program. We hope that you stick around. We're going to take a quick break. 45-36 at the end of this duel. We'll have girls wrestling for you when we come back on the other side. Don't go anywhere.
If you want freedom and adventure, stop into one of Galpin Auto and RV's convenient locations. With a large inventory of both new and pre-owned autos and RVs, they have something for most every budget. You'll find a relaxed, no-hassle way of doing business in both Dewey and Cottonwood. Their knowledgeable staff will have you on your way to your next vacation in no time. Galpin Auto and RV in Dewey and Cottonwood, a name you can trust for over 30 years.
You dream it, they build it. A. Earls Construction is focused on your remodel dreams. Transform a TV room into a real entertainment area. Turn the mundane into incredible and add to the value of your home. Have the kitchen you need or the kitchen you've always dreamed of, both inside and out. A. Earls Construction can make your remodel ideas reality. When you're ready to make your house your home, count on A. Earls Construction. Licensed, bonded, insured, and experienced.
When you buy a vehicle at Hyundai of Cottonwood, you'll enjoy thousands of miles. With America's best warranty, 10-year, 100,000 miles, driving a Hyundai will give you peace of mind. Yes, there's something for everyone at Hyundai of Cottonwood on Rodeo Drive, above Larry Green Chevrolet and next to Walmart. Hyundai of Cottonwood. New thinking, new possibilities. A formula for happy drivers.
Welcome you back here to Mingus Union High School, Matt's side, as we are continuing our JV coverage. The Marauders on the varsity side able to get the victory, 45-36, thanks to the pin by Ryan Griffin. And well, you couldn't have asked for a better match for the Marauders, as we will continue our coverage of JV, also our coverage of girls wrestling after this. I want to shout out just a couple more of our sponsors: A. Earls Construction, Larry Green Chevrolet, Galpin RV, and Hyundai of Cottonwood. I want to thank you for making this whole season possible so that we can broadcast these wrestling games and give Jared a little bit of nostalgia, as he is a former Mingus Marauder wrestler. Jared Tavasi, former state champ. We are seeing, this is Caleb Underhill on the side of the Marauders. This is, of course, at the JV level. Varsity was able to get the victory.
You know, tonight I saw a lot of improvement. I saw people getting tight when they should get tight and finishing off really well. That's why we saw some pin. That's why we saw mostly pins tonight, where your better wrestlers are establishing themselves again this year. They were able to get the job done, and it was a great victory for Mingus. That was a well-matched team, and it was a good way to have a Wednesday night end up.
Yeah, it was definitely. I mean, and this is, you know, how Coach Mckean really wants to continue his season is in these victories. And we talked about last week, and even in a little bit of this broadcast, that the heavier side for the Marauders, the heavier you went, the struggles kept coming up. And I'm going to be honest, it continued tonight. But thankfully the Marauders were able to get some clutch victories from both Griffins.
Yes.
And they were able to secure the victory. And, you know, obviously this is only the second match of the season. They still have their away matches. They still have their final home match on February 5th, which is senior night. Of course, we will be covering that. You can watch that match right here on Verde Valley TV. Again, that is February 5th. We will not be broadcasting any away matches. As much as Jared would love to go on the road, we will not be broadcasting those ones. 4-1 in this match right now. But we're not saying that this is going to continue. Of course, as you get further along in the season, you'll have more practices. You'll have more guys lifting weights and getting healthier. So when you move into senior night on February 5th, right here on Verde Valley TV, you'll get into. Hopefully they'll be able to fix that problem.
Right. I'm looking forward to seeing some of the guys that have had injuries. We in some of the weight classes where we're a little bit weak right now as a team. I know that those guys have had some illnesses and injuries that they've been having to go through. You know, you have a gentleman named Conrad Brady, who I know is one of the premier wrestlers in the state in the larger weight classes. I believe he's a 180 pounder and or 182 pounder, and I think that he will really bring a lot of firepower on that the upper weight class area. And then I know Juanio, he's going to be bringing up some more, and it'll be nice to see everybody field a full varsity lineup later in the season.
Right, and like you said, injuries, guys will be coming back. We'll have guys coming back from other whatever else might keep them from wrestling. So, and in all honesty, we may see a couple JV guys come up as well. We did have Sean Hogard listed at the 145. Of course, he ended up deciding to wrestle for the JV, but still, he had an opportunity to possibly wrestle at the varsity level.
Oh, yeah.
And we could see Sean wrestling on senior night. You're laughing at something.
A couple of my junior hires are welcoming Kai, who's a freshman.
Oh, yeah, right. 7-1 is our score in this matchup as Payson is currently leading again. This is JV wrestling. We will have the girls wrestling right after this. We just had our varsities. The Marauders were able to get that victory. If you're just joining us, 45-36. That is the team total. It was a clutch performance from Tyler and Ryan Griffin.
Yes. They were able to get back-to-back pins. That's going to be a really good night in their household.
I mean, can we talk a little bit about Tyler Griffin there? That reverse he had to secure the pin against a very, very formidable opponent in Adrian Zeffirino, who was really bringing it to Tyler Griffin the entire time.
He was. He was. They were very well matched, and Tyler was able to really set that whole situation up. He pressed in, got Zeffirino to push a little bit too hard, and was able to take all that weight from both people and just carry it through, put him right on his back, and finish that off. And that's the mat strategy that you see come out. He knew what he was doing because he was able to keep pushing, and then finally set the trap, bait the trap, and finish off his opponent.
You got one more JV wrestling matchup. I think this is the last one, and then we'll head to the girls wrestling.
It's going to be Anthony Islas. He's out here.
That's right. We saw Anthony at the varsity level last week.
Sometimes you'll see him on varsity. Sometimes you'll see him on JV because he is a freshman coming in this year. So it's an exciting season for him too.
And this has got to be, he's got the varsity experience now, and now going back down to JV. It's almost, and I do not at all. I was a JV player. I was JV for basketball and baseball.
Driving it through.
Oh, way to go.
He's got to keep that.
He's got it, looking for the pin.
He's finishing that off. Head up, looking for it. He's got to tee up a little bit.
He's got that top weight, like you said, looking for that. He got it.
There we go.
What a great pin.
Way to finish that off.
So, getting back to my point, it's sort of at the JV level, you get an opportunity to maybe break it down a little bit and give yourself an opportunity to hit the reset button and kind of focus up on, some technique things. Obviously, we just saw it there, a guy who had played at the varsity and the JV level. So we will have one more JV matchup before we head into the girls wrestling.
Two more,
excuse me. We'll have two more. We'll get you that name here in a second. But, you're almost seeing the future. You're seeing somewhat of the future of Marauders Wrestling. Of course, unfortunately, you can only be in high school for 4 years, or 5 if you're lucky. But, you're kind of seeing, obviously, we may be calling these guys at the varsity level next season, the season after, especially if most of them are freshmen. And we even saw somebody we did call at varsity.
Right. You'll see that quite a bit. You'll see people getting mat time, they call it, and that's the most important thing is you learn through making contact.
Right.
And so the more mat time a wrestler has, the better he's going to be able to establish whether how he is as a wrestler. And so some of the younger guys, you're just trying to get them as many matches as you possibly can in a season. So it's more important to get that mat time than it is to protect their ego or something along those lines.
But also, even on the side of Payson as well, that's back-to-back pins on the side, or excuse me, not back-to-back, but I think they have at least 2 or 3 pins
on the JV
side. So,
yes,
that's kind of speak to the future of their program as well.
Right, and everybody can say what they want, but even no matter what, you're going to remember whether that match was won or lost, and so you'll be able to gauge yourself and judge yourself later on when you meet that opponent again. And you will meet them again because, like I said, we've got a lot of young guys on the Mingus squad right now that are just explosive underclassmen that are going to be here for a couple more years.
So we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll have girls wrestling right here on Verde Valley TV. That was JV. We'll focus on to the girls right now. When we come back, don't go anywhere.
Starting in the late 1920s, Grandpa Gettle and his brothers laid the groundwork for what would become a family legacy. Almost 100 years and 100 patents later, Gettle's High Desert Mechanical continues to raise the bar of quality heating, cooling, and plumbing products and services in the Verde Valley.
Call Gettle's High Desert Mechanical Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing at 567-2200 or online at GettlesHDM.com, providing solutions for your comfort. Don't settle, get Gettles, and go Marauders.
Balancing your family, finances, and future is a lot of responsibility. Let Jennifer Griffin and her team at State Farm help. Jennifer Griffin is an Arizona native and a Mingus graduate as well. As a third-generation State Farm agent serving the Verde Valley in the same Cottonwood Main Street location for over 35 years. Jennifer Griffin offers all of State Farm Insurance's lines, specializing in auto, home, life, and small business policies. Jennifer Griffin and State Farm Insurance, here to help life go right.
If you haven't been to Number One Sandwich Shop in Clarkdale, stop in to see why they are number one. Their patented broaster chicken is a true one-of-a-kind pressure-fried roasted favorite. Always cooked fresh, allow 20 minutes to cook. Wings, pizzas, subs, burgers, and more. Don't forget the Thrifty Heart ice cream, 14 rotating flavors served in a cone, cup, shake, float, or a sundae. Located in Clarkdale at the Roundabout on 89A heading up to Jerome. Open daily from 11 to 7.
Want to welcome you back here, Matt Side at Mingus Union High School. Philip Catafo alongside state champ and former Mingus Marauder wrestler Jared Tavasi. It was a great victory for the Marauders varsity side. 43-36 was the final score, and a phenomenal performance. We mentioned that the heavier weight classes were struggling, but it happened to be the heavier weight classes that got the victory for the Marauders.
They were started off right. We got a lot of pins and a lot of points on the board before we had to start forfeiting some matches in the upper weight classes. Once we got in the upper weight classes, we forfeited a couple matches in some key areas, and then the Griffin boys came in and they got back-to-back pins. And that's a great way to finish off on a Wednesday night. Everybody's going to feel good going into this weekend. You can see the coaches and the wrestlers, they're all pumped up about it, and then that'll help build on this whole successful season that we're having so far.
And it's a match like this, like you said, you want to set the tempo early on, and the Marauders were able to do that. I mean, they had some great pins early on. Of course, unfortunately, due to forfeit and pins on the other side, because we have two teams, the Marauders found themselves down. They really, really needed a pin from Ryan Griffin, and they're able to get it. Same thing on the side of Tyler Griffin as well. Yes. A beautiful reverse. If you didn't get a chance to see it, you got to go back and watch that, because Tyler Griffin pulled off an incredible reverse and was able to get the pin. I mean, an exceptional performance from both boys.
Yeah, they did a great job. You know, when they finished it off strong, you could see the whole team just lift up, and it was good stuff. I think one of the most notable matches tonight was actually Isaac Mckean. He went out there and he was wrestling, you could tell, a very experienced and tough opponent, and he was just able to establish himself even as a sophomore and as an underclassman. He went out there and he dominated that position. He put his opponent in multiple pinning combinations. Even though he wasn't able to finish it off with a pin, you don't always get a pin when you're wrestling a quality wrestler. And when you have two quality wrestlers and you establish yourself on your feet, he won every position. He won top, he won bottom, he won in neutral. That is probably the most impressive match I saw all night.
Yeah, and if we had an MVP, we'd definitely be giving it out to both Griffins. I mean, if you had a player to spotlight it, it'd probably be Tyler Griffin and or Ryan Griffin or even both of them. But in my heart, the MVP is Jared Tavasi for finding these chairs. I mentioned that earlier, and we didn't get a chance to come back, but I feel like Jared stole this office chair from the school nurse and then found the auditorium chair hidden off to the side. But regardless, they still do the job. But anyway, now we are going to shift our focus to the girls wrestling program here. We got a chance to talk with Coach Danny Schultz. Of course, she is a former state champion and also a former Mingus Marauder wrestler. And in fact, very recently, last year, she was a Marauder wrestler. And it's got to be, you know, you do have team leaders, and of course you were a team leader. Coach Mckean was a team leader. You've mentioned it a few times. These guys come in and they can set the tempo as a student and sort of see eye to eye with their colleagues, but coming into more of an authoritative role when you're a head coach it's a little bit different, because you're not seeing this person every day in class. You're now going, hey, coach, am I doing this right? As opposed to, hey, Danny, can you help me out here? It's more like, hey, coach, is this, what do I need?
It is a big step, but Danny's always almost had a coach-style role to herself. I've watched her help set up tournaments and tear down tournaments, and everybody automatically was looking to her as a team captain before. And her stepping up to being a coach is just the natural progression. She's a state champion. Everybody knows she's successful. She's a winner, and you look at her girls, they trust her, and they believe in what she says. They go out there, and they execute well. I'm ecstatic that we get to watch them tonight, and I expect nothing but excellence there.
We will have, at least for the time being, 3 wrestling matches on the side of the girls, and should be a lot of fun. I mean, we got an opportunity to see them last week early on. Again, like I mentioned, we talked to Danny Schultz about her program, but this is a program that is still building. And like Danny said, she started it last year essentially with only 3 people, and now you look on the sidelines, they've got at least 5 or 6.
Yeah, it's a grassroots startup program. Danny came in. She had a lot of success. And success, everybody wants to latch onto it. And so she's starting to recruit, and people are wanting to be a part of it, and they're seeing success there. So they're wanting to attach themselves to that. And I think that it's really just going to snowball, and it's going to end up being a really dominant program at this school. And I know that's a very big focus of our coaching staff as far as the high school. I know that Coach Mckean and Coach Chagoya have both expressed that multiple times, that is a large part of our future is going to be that girls program. So they're establishing, they're putting that as a priority for our program and for our school. And so I know she's going to have great support from the boys coaches side. Right. And she doesn't have to have that because Danny's able to have her own program. They'll stand on its own 2 feet.
But it kind of falls into, they're all Marauders. You've got the side of the boys and the girls, and the success of the girls also speaks to the success of the boys as well, because if Coach Mckean, maybe didn't focus on Danny at all or encourage her to start the program or however it started, we're not here. We're done for the night without this. And thankfully, we do get an opportunity to see this wrestling program right here, right now, and it's led by Danny Schultz, and it starts with the boys and the girls.
And that's the thing is when you have two head coaches, especially one that was established before, and now another coach that's coming in and she's establishing herself. It's great that they're all on the same page and we're all wanting a common goal, and that commonality of goal is the best part of the whole thing. I look forward to seeing how this progresses and grows, and it's going to be very good.
Well, we're going to see how good this program is. When we come back, we'll have girls wrestling, and then we'll send you off for the rest of your night here on this Wednesday Night Wrestling. We hope you join us when we come back on the other side of this break. Don't go anywhere. Women's wrestling right here on Verde Valley TV.
Rags Roofing, the roofing experts. A family-owned business with over 50 years of roofing experience. 3 generations specializing in all types of roofing: metal, tile, shingle, flat, roof coatings, and fascia metal. Rags Roofing, the roofing experts for residential and commercial roofs in the Verde Valley. Call 928-649-0537. Licensed, bonded, and insured. Mitch and Nate have you covered at Rags Roofing in Cottonwood.
2 things we can count on every year:
a new set of tax rules and great weather here in northern Arizona.
Jackson Hewitt Tax Service, locally owned and operated by Lewis Rice since 1997, is here for you all year long.
Your neighborhood Jackson Hewitt Tax Office will help you in all of your taxing situations.
Electronic filing is always free with your tax preparation at Jackson Hewitt Tax Service.
Get more in return. Call 1-800-234-1040 for an office near you.
People often refer to Larry Green Chevrolet as the people place. Keeping that reputation is a priority in the community and with every customer that comes through the door. Larry Green Chevrolet, we're better and we'll prove it. If you're in the market for a new or pre-owned car, truck, van, or SUV, you'll find our selection extensive and the sales team professional and courteous. Visit Larry Green Chevrolet just off Highway 260 next to Walmart or LarryGreenChevrolet.com.
Want to welcome you back here, Matt Side at Mingus Union High School. Phil Katafmo alongside state champ and former Mingus Marauder wrestler Jared Tavasi. We have got girls wrestling. The varsity is done. JV is done. Now it is time for, in my opinion, one of the better programs here at Mingus Union, the girls wrestling program. We got a chance to talk with Danny Schultz early on, the head coach for this team. She broke us down kind of coming in as a brand new coach. She was a Marauder last season and now coming in as a head coach. And she is, like we mentioned, she's putting together a very, very good program. They will be wrestling against Mojave. The Thunderbirds are making their way down to Cottonwood to take on the Marauders. And, you know, I got to say, the last time it was a Marauders-Mojave matchup was a heartbreaker in football. And to be honest, I'm kind of hoping the Marauders pull this off. I don't want to be biased. I know that we're the broadcast team for the Marauders, but still, it's got a little bit of sour taste.
You know, I don't know Mojave, but I do know the Marauders, and I know that these girls are going to go out there and they're going to put their best foot forward, and I think that we're going to have a really good matchup here.
I think so too, and we've got 3 for you. We've got 3 wrestling matches on the girls' side, and then we will head into February, and we will be back on February 5th for senior night. Jared Tavasi will be here, and it should be a lot of fun. We'll get to see a lot of the growth that you mentioned. Of course, it is the 3rd match of the broadcast, but a few matches down the road for the Marauders as they head on the road. Of course, we only broadcast the home games, but senior night on February 5th right here on Verde Valley TV. It should be a lot of fun.
It should be. Just from last week to this week, you saw everybody tighten up a whole bunch. You saw them just look that much better, and I can't wait to see the progression from each match, and I'm very encouraged by what I see going on.
Mojave is still warming up. We are getting very, very close, about a few minutes away until we get started. We will have Alana Hicks, Tiana, you're going to have to help me with that, Ladico, and Zoe Arwine. Those will be the 3 for the Marauders in the 125 weight classes and 160 respectively. Should be a lot of fun, like we mentioned. This is kind of our first glimpse, our first look at the girls wrestling program. They're getting some airtime, which is awesome. Hopefully this will encourage more girls to come out and wrestle for either squad, Mojave or Mingus. One of my closest friends in high school, Sal Cardenas, his sister, I'm blanking on his sister's name, but she was a wrestler, and she was scary. Like, in all honesty, in a really good way. She was a phenomenal wrestler. I believe she was a state champ in California as well.
That's great.
Girls, they are deadly wrestlers, and we're going to see it here.
You know, I think we're going to see that tonight because
Caitlin, that's her name. Caitlin Cardenas. Sorry.
No, from what we were able to see last week, I was amazed. I said, you know what, for this being such a young program, the skill, and you can just see the girls are buying into it. They know that their coach knows what she's doing. They trust her. They're able to go out there and execute a game plan, and that's what it's all about. When you buy in, you're going to have success.
Well, we're hoping that this team has bought into Danny Schultz and looking for some more success here as we get ever so closely to beginning this wrestling match. You can see the Mojave Thunderbirds behind us making their way, grabbing their stuff, bringing it over to their side of the bleachers, or excuse me, their side of the sidelines, I should say. This really should be a lot of fun. I mean, we saw it on the side of the men's wrestling, and now we're looking here at the girls.
Yep.
Well, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we will begin the girls wrestling match and get you ready and send you off into February 5th for senior night. So don't go anywhere, right here on Verde Valley TV.
If you want freedom and adventure, stop into one of Galpin Auto and RV's convenient locations. With a large inventory of both new and pre-owned autos and RVs, they have something for most every budget. You'll find a relaxed, no-hassle way of doing business in both Dewey and Cottonwood. Their knowledgeable staff will have you on your way to your next vacation in no time. Galpin Auto and RV in Dewey and Cottonwood, a name you can trust for over 30 years.
You dream it, they build it. A. Earls Construction is focused on your remodel dreams. Transform a TV room into a real entertainment area.
I want to welcome you back, Matt Side, Phil Katafmo alongside Jared Tavasi. We are beginning our girls wrestling match here. Phil Katafmo alongside Jared Tavasi. Jared, we can sit back down in the beautiful chairs that you brought us. Mojave and the Marauders on the girls' side here. We've got 3 for you. We've heard, I'm going to be honest, we've heard a little bit of mixed. We're not sure if it's 11 or 3, but we guarantee you you've got 3. So here we go. And I believe this is Elena Hicks in the 125 weight class. Or this might be, actually, this is Tiana. Yeah, this is Tiana. We talked to Tiana earlier. Ladico, we asked her about her last name, and we actually asked her teammates, and she popped right up and said, "Oh, no, that's me. That's Tiana." And I was like, oh, okay. How do you say your last name? Ladico able to get out of that hold.
Right. Ladico's for Mingus.
Right. We just confirmed now that Tiana is out there on the mat.
She's very aggressive. Unfortunately, she's gotten taken down a couple times, so she's going to have to figure out a good way of getting a setup.
Yep, 4-0 is our score right now. Well, I'll tell you what, if we do have 11 matches in girls wrestling, that's awesome.
Yeah, that'd be great. I think that's going to be between multiple other teams.
Okay, we're going to have a running clock on top of the wrestling matches here. Ladico looking to what's 4-0 right now. Mojave leading.
Her opponent's got a solid game plan, a spin behind, and good position out in front.
Yeah, she has done a phenomenal job taking advantage of Ladico here.
Yes.
But Tiana looking for a reverse, looking to get out of that hold. Flips on her back. Eight nothing now, our score. Looking for the pin. Mojave looking to get things going early. And they'll get it.
And that's the end of that match.
A great pin for the Thunderbirds, and they take an early lead. Great job by Tiana Ladico to get things going for the Marauders.
That match didn't turn out the way that Tiana was hoping, but she was aggressive the whole way through. She had a game plan. Unfortunately, it just wasn't able to be successful in that one.
So we will have our second matchup. We have a wrestler from River Valley here. We're still trying to get clarified as to... we do have somebody from River Valley. So this is... So we've got that clarified now. So we've got a third matchup. River Valley making their way out, getting a representative. I mean, get the experience while you can.
Yeah.
Alina Hicks wrestling on the side of the Marauders. Now, we mentioned it off air, but I want to mention it just in case Coach Mckean is tuning in afterwards. I'd love some Marauders wrestling merch. I'm just asking for a T-shirt. That's it.
If nothing else, I'm sure the junior high is going to make sure you get some.
I'd be happy as a clam if that happened. Hicks on top looking for a pin early.
Good takedown. Getting some near fall.
And there's the pin.
Game over.
A great pin for Hicks in the matchup against River Valley. Or excuse me, that was Zoe Arwine. So Arwine with the victory. And we have another wrestler from River Valley making their way onto the mat. So now it'll be a Dust Devil and Thunderbird matchup, Mojave and River Valley. A couple wrestlers on the side of River Valley. So we're getting a glimpse at the River Valley wrestling program, girls wrestling program. Way to break out of that hold. Hey, Jared, next time you take your headset off, you just do that.
Okay.
Jared Tavasi, state champ, has yet to figure out the mute button.
Have not gotten there yet.
I should have told you. I showed you the other two. I should have told you that the middle is the mute. But River Valley and Mojave wrestling here on the girls level. Clock is going to keep winding, or keep running, excuse me. So, still tuning in here to the River Valley and Mojave wrestling match. 4-1 is our score. Nice that River Valley made the trip down to give their girls wrestling program an opportunity to wrestle against Mojave.
You know, this is a young portion of this sport, and so you can see that reflected in the numbers on the teams. But for it to have not been around as an established girls wrestling programs for very long, you're seeing some solid support, and I'm seeing a lot of quality at the wrestling that I'm seeing from the girls right now. Yeah.
And you know, like we mentioned, I know we talk about, you know, Coach Schultz's girls wrestling program, but of course there are also girls wrestling programs all around the entire state of Arizona.
Yes, there are.
We're seeing it here on the side of Mojave, and now here on the side of the River Valley Dust Devils.
Right.
So just experience for everybody. Everybody's getting an opportunity to continue to build their program. Again, we're hoping that something like this will garner more interest in girls wrestling because they are extremely talented. And we've seen it on our side. Now we're seeing it on the side of Mojave. We've seen it on the side of River Valley. Snowflake last week. Kingman last week as well. These programs are building.
It's only going to be good for the sport.
Right. It'll just continue to grow it on both sides for both sexes.
Ooh. Good takedown.
A great break out of that hold. Trying to stay in bounds. Looking for the pin on the side of River Valley, looking for their first pin of the night. They'll get it. Well, what a great reversal, and she's able to get the pin, stay in bounds.
That was really solid.
Great performance on the side of River Valley. We have one more Marauder matchup.
When are they going to come back up? They're wanting to get off the air. I want to watch They have one more match and then two in a row.
Is it Mingus?
Two more Mingus girls in a row.
So, okay, we will have one more River Valley matchup, and then we will have at least this is what we're getting told now, we'll have 2 more Marauder wrestlers. So 1 River Valley, 2 Marauders, and I believe that should be it. But we want to thank you for sticking around, though.
I believe there's 1 more match after this,
so
then it'll be 2 back-to-back Mingus wrestlers.
Okay, so we will have 1 more matchup with River Valley and Mojave, and then we will go to the side of the Marauders.
Right. I think it's something to do with the requirements of rest in between matches.
Well, you know, we've got the Mingus Union's athletic director, Yancey DeVore, and I think we're going to get an opportunity to talk with Yancey. And, you know, Yancey, we got an opportunity to talk with Danny Schultz of the girls wrestling program, and you on the side of the athletic director. How have you seen this program grow from last year to this year?
Oh, it's grown in leaps and bounds, and I think bringing on Danny Schultz is a definite benefit for our program. So anytime we can, you know, build those programs and get the numbers up, and, you know, I think with Danny starting it was, first of all, Danny was in this program when she was in as a youth, and then she kind of grew through the program, and then, you know, the AIA legitimized girls wrestling her senior year, and she was able to go out and win a state championship. So it's the story, the Danny Schultz story, is really something that you can make a movie out of, really. But to have her on the staff and to have her out here supporting these girls and really feeding into the development of our program. Not every program has another female wrestler that they can just put in there, because the sport has been dominated by males. So it's really a cool thing.
Yeah, and she's running an incredibly good program, and we talked about it, and it's you know, what goes into that. I mean, she comes off of going to the school as a student, and then comes in and goes, you know, Mr. DeVore, I really want to coach this program coming in. I mean, what was the process of her getting to be the head coach?
Yeah, well, I can't take all the credit for that. I got to give that to Clint Mckean, but when he came to me with that as an option, I was on board with it. So
yeah, and it makes a lot of sense. I mean, she has experience as not only a student but also as a wrestler. She sort of started the program. Now she's kind of seeing it through as a head coach for however long she decides to stay in Cottonwood with this program, and it's
well, hopefully for a long time. And I think our numbers are only going to grow from here. So I'm really excited to see what happens. And you know what? There's some talent out there, man. We got some kids out here. But you know what? There's other kids walking the hallways that can contribute to this program and have some success with it. And that's ultimately what we want. We want kids involved. We want them, you know, here after school and in our programs. And it makes our programs better. It makes our school better. It makes our community better. So it's a win-win for all of us. But I think it's going in the right direction for sure.
Yancey DeVore, the athletic director here at Mingus Union. I want to thank you for kind of pulling you off on the sideline. I know you didn't get a chance to you know, get all guzzied up for us, but I love the jacket.
Hey, anytime I can talk about kids and athletics, I can talk forever.
Yeah,
so.
I mentioned this to Jared. I have 0 Marauder merchandise. I just want to throw that out there. I don't even have a T-shirt. I've been doing this for a couple months now. I just wanted to throw that out there. But
Phil's got to represent here, man.
Please get a T-shirt. I got the red shirt. I'm tired of wearing the gray one that I wear all the time, so I got a red shirt.
You know, you need to tap the coaches over there. They got boxes. They got boxes full up.
But anyway, Yancey, I want to thank you very much for coming on. And we're going to send you right back down to the mat. We are wrapping up with River Valley, and we are going to get started with Mingus Wrestling. Yancey DeVore, thank you very much for stepping in.
Thank you very much. Shout out to our youth program here, too, in developing that.
Jared Tavasi, the head coach of the JV wrestling program here. Thank you.
Junior high.
I know, I keep saying JV. I said that last time, too.
And that's a community-wide program where we don't just have from one school. We have all of our local junior highs and grade schools are able to participate in our club team, because we have so many small schools that nobody can really field an entire team. Now we got the girls wrestling.
This is Tiana Ladico again, wrestling for the Marauders. I believe she was pinned against River Valley, but
she was pinned against Mojave.
Oh, at Mojave, yes.
Right now she's just going out there. They're hand fighting, they're head fighting. They're trying to get some setups going. She's got a game plan. You can see she's trying to do something. She knows what she wants, but she hasn't been able to do it yet. So
we'll see if she can do it here. Her sort of second opportunity against Mojave. Looking to stay out of that lift. Able to keep her feet down. She's back down on all fours. It'll be 2 points for Payson, 2 points for Mojave.
Oh, Just got to look away from that half. You got to look away from those halves.
Trying to get out of that hold. Looking to get back up on her feet.
Oh, going back
and
on
they'll go back to neutral. So there you go. A great job by Tiana to get out of that one. And now she has an opportunity here to get a pin of herself, of her own.
Yes.
.43 seconds left in this first period. We'll have one more Marauder wrestler. And like we said, we'll be back February 5th for senior night right here on Verde Valley TV. We hope you join us for that one. Ladico looking to get out of the hold. 4-0 now our score. Ladico looking to stand back up, and that'll end the first period. 4-0 Mojave lead.
Mojave's looking solid as a team right now. They look like they know what they're doing. They've got a very successful program, it looks like.
Yeah, and you know, like we said, we talk about the side of the Marauders, but also the side of Mojave, like I said last week with Snowflake and Kingman, and also River Valley now. River Valley as well. Ladico. So the side of the Marauders getting fired up. Ladico trying to get that pin. Trying to flip her on her shoulders. Ladico fighting hard.
Oh, she's fighting real hard right there, and now we're coming back to our feet.
Back to the neutral position. But like I was saying, you know, these programs are just continuing to build. Now that we're seeing on the side of River Valley, Mojave, Snowflake, Kingman, Payson earlier.
Yeah, we're at 2-4. I mean, we're just one takedown away from an even money match, and I think we're going to see a lot more of that. Oh.
40 seconds left in the second period. 2-4 is our score. Ladico on her stomach, looking to break out. She was able to break out earlier.
Trying for a head and arm right there, and just wasn't able to execute that well. Not able to get those hips involved.
Still fighting hard as Ladico. Mojave looking for the pin. And they'll get it. A great fight by Tiana Ladico in that match, but also the credit on the side of Mojave as well. You know, fighting and getting that pin. And we've got either one or this should be the last Marauder matchup for tonight. Okay, so we will have Alina Hicks, who I mixed up with Zoe Arwin earlier, but this is Hicks now, looking to secure a victory. And a phenomenal performance by Tiana Ladico, doing a great job.
Really going out there and putting it on the line. Oh, getting some weight.
And now Alina Hicks.
There we go.
Looking for a pin of her own.
Getting people stretched out. There we go. Oh, and we got 2-point takedown for Mojave.
So 2-0 goes to our score. Mojave leading in our final matchup of the night for the girls wrestling program, coached by Danny Schultz, who we got an opportunity to talk with earlier. Got a chance last second to talk with Yancy DeVore. Want to thank both of them for coming on to our program tonight. Hicks looking for the victory for the Marauders. And, of course, we'll be back in February 5th for senior night. Hicks trying to stay off her stomach. Mojave looking for the pin. Hicks looking to make her way back to her feet. So we had a full Nelson on the side of the Marauder, on the side of Mojave, and now we'll go back to the neutral position. 4-1 now goes our score.
Short time on the clock. We got to make something happen here.
Well, we will head into the second period. 4-1 is our score as Hicks still looking for that pin. She's come close a couple times.
Yep.
.4-1 is our score. Mojave leading the Marauders. 1 minute, 40 seconds left here in the second period. Hicks looking for the pin. Fighting hard. Hicks looking to roll her on her back.
Getting some solid pressure and weight.
Got her on the shoulder, just got to roll her over.
Almost to the 2. Almost to the 2-point takedown. She's got to step over that leg to get the 3rd point of control. To establish a takedown, you have to have 3 points of control. And so she's got to step over that leg or
get almost in the middle of those legs and get more leverage to lift her over on her shoulders. She's lifting her towards her now. Got deadly quiet here. And back to the neutral position.
It's a 1-point match now.
4-3 now is our score. Only 50 seconds left in the second period. Hicks. Hicks looking for the takedown. She gets brought down to her knees. Hicks trying to get back up to her feet. We've got another end of the quarter here. This is looking like it's going to come down to points. 6-3 is our score. Jared's got a practice he's got to go to in like 5 minutes. So I was thinking if we just let him go Hicks, 6-3, back to the neutral position we go. Clock is still running 50 seconds here. 8-3 is our score. Mojave carrying a hefty lead. We've had a phenomenal wrestling day today. On Wednesday, we had the varsity. On a Wednesday, this is Wednesday, we had the varsity getting a victory over Payson on the boys' side. We had a couple pins on the side of the boys' side for JV. We've had some great performances on the side of the women's program. We got an opportunity to talk with Danny Schultz early on in the program. We got a chance to talk with Yancy DeVore. This girls' program is continuing to build. Of course, the boys' program as well is continuing to build, and more kids getting involved in wrestling. Hicks is one of them. She's looking to tack on a couple more points. She's 3 down, 8-5 is our score. She's going to have to do it now. She's going to do it at any point. It looks like the clock might wind down. And that is it. So Mojave will walk away with the victory. A phenomenal wrestling day. We want to thank you for tuning in. We will be back February 5th for senior night right here on Verde Valley TV. I want to thank Coach Clint Mckean and Coach Danny Schultz for letting us come on and broadcast these games. For my producer Ryan Nichols, for everybody here at Verde Valley TV, we want to wish you a very happy holidays. We'll see you on February 5th, and have a great rest of your night.